Hey everyone, it's Rob from Hypop and welcome back to another video. In this one, I am taking a closer look at and unboxing a new trigger from Godox. This is the Godox FT433. So today I have the FT433 flash trigger here from Godox. This is a new release and somewhat familiar as well. So this here is a wireless transmitter or a flash trigger that runs on a different frequency to the Godox X triggers. Now, if you want to take a closer look at Godox's X triggers and a comparison video that we've already done, take a closer look at the link up above. So this here is the FT433, and what this does is it runs on a 433 megahertz frequency. And why did they do that? Basically, there's a lot of interference with the 2.4 gigahertz wireless frequency, or it's more commonly used, not necessarily too much interference, but you may experience that. A lot of Godox shooters nowadays as well. So if you have multi-shooters shooting on that frequency, you do have ways to differentiate yourself between other shooters shooting on 2.4 gigahertz. So with Godox's triggers, you can set the group, the channel, as well as the ID. But the FT433 essentially is running on a different frequency, so you won't encounter any of those issues. Now, for those with a keen eye or those that are familiar with Godox's previous models, there was previously the FT16 trigger, and that was basically a flash trigger, a wireless flash trigger and receiver set from Godox. This also operated on the 433 megahertz frequency, so it was an older model. The main difference with this one here is you can see the design is actually quite similar to some of Godox's other triggers, including the X Pro and the X Pro II. However, there are some slight changes so that it operates on this new frequency here, and this is now a TTL model. So you can see this one in particular is the S here, and that means it's the Sony version. There's also a Canon and Nikon available. Let's take a closer look at what's included. So this is the box, essentially. Looks like the X Pro 2 box as well as the X Pro. And on the side, you can see there's a few features: the 433 megahertz TTL functionality. There's also Bluetooth control, so you can Bluetooth control this with the app. There is a legacy hot shoe, which is essentially a pass-through through the single center point pin. We'll talk about that shortly. And you also have the L858 metering. That's the Iconic light meter, and you can fire this off using the L858 as well. Now, sliding this open, on the inside here, you've got the flash trigger itself. Now, that's the flash trigger, a very familiar design. You can see how it does have a lot of similarities to the X Pro range. And you've also got the receiver. So this is the FR433 as opposed to the FT433. So this is the receiver. And lastly is the user guide. So this is the FT433 set here, the receiver and the trigger. Now, some differences with this particular setup is that they actually have a physical antenna. So you can see I'll fan that out from the side here on the FR433. And that's the antenna that allows you to run on that wireless frequency, the 433 frequency. And the same goes with the flash trigger. So you can see I'll fan that out there to the side. It's got a bit of that Godox branding. Trigger really looks similar to the X Pro range as mentioned, and it has just the 433 megahertz at the top here. Now, this particular flash trigger is compatible with the newer range of Godox Flashes, including the Mark II range. So that is the AD200 Pro Mark II, the AD600 Pro Mark II, and also the newer AD600BM Mark II. So those are the newer flashes that are compatible with this, because essentially the receiver will plug into the USB Type-C port. So that's what the receiver is at the bottom here. It's a USB Type-C, plugs into the port. Now, the good thing about this trigger here is that it's USB Type-C as well, so that means it's firmware upgradable. Once again, it's compatible with the three major brands right now, the Sony, Nikon, and Canon, so there aren't any Fuji, Olympus, Panasonic, or Pentax models released for this just yet. However, they are compatible with those major brands. Now, in terms of the range, you have a 0 to 100 meter range of wireless range with this flash trigger here. And also, with the 433 megahertz range, it actually has better sort of like wall passing wireless transmission. So that means if you don't have line of sight with the receiver or flash trigger, you're still able to fire it off. Whereas 2.4 gigahertz, sometimes if you don't have line of sight, it'll get a bit sketchy. So this has a bit more, I guess, transmission between the two units here, even if you don't have line of sight. Now, once again, this has Bluetooth app control. So that means you're able to use the Godox Lite app. It's a Godox app actually, not the Godox Lite app, that you can control this via Bluetooth and change the settings on the trigger, which essentially changes the settings on the flash as well. And you can toggle between the manual or TTL modes. It also has high-speed sync, all the way up to 1/8,000th of a second. So it has all the features that you'd expect from a full-featured flash trigger. Now with the Sony version here, you can see it also has that upgraded metal hot shoe. Some of the previous models of Godox Flashes as well as transmitters had the older plastic Sony hot shoe, so that's a welcome addition. It has that locking collar snap there, so that's a useful tool rather than the spin wheel. And also this has TCM mode, and what TCM mode means is that when you're shooting in TTL, when you hit the TCM mode, it's able to tell you what the manual setting is that you shot at, because TTL essentially is automatic and you're unable to determine the exact output the flash was at. When you hit the TCM button, you're able to see what that manual setting was. And you can leave it there if you want. You can switch it back over to manual and leave it there if your lighting conditions won't change, and that way you know that you'll always have the correct sort of flash exposure when using TCM mode there. Now it does have that legacy hot shoe or that single pin operation pass-through mode. And what that means is essentially it turns this into a manual flash trigger where it just tells the flash to fire off when you hit the shutter button, and it essentially creates turns this into a manual flash trigger. Now, why would you want to do that? Perhaps you're shooting with a brand that was not one of the brands that are compatible, so Sony, Nikon, or Canon. Maybe you're shooting with another brand, and you won't be able to obtain those TTL features anyway, so those other pins. Sony has the multi-function interface pins here at the top. Maybe you're unable to utilize any of that and you just want to use the center pin so you can fire off a flash. And you can do that with this particular flash trigger here, and you're able to essentially just use that as a manual flash trigger. And the majority of camera brands have that center point pin, and that's why they have that feature on this flash trigger. So I have with me an AD200 Pro Mark II, just so we can demonstrate how to set this all up. So currently we've got that turned on. Let's just turn down this power here. Now to pair this up, usually with an X trigger, all you'll need to do is set the channel and the group. And there's a few extra steps when using the FT433. Now the FT433 is powered by 2 AA batteries, and the FR433 is powered via the USB Type-C. So all you need to do is just plug that into the USB Type-C port, which on the AD200 Pro Mark II is just on the bottom portion here. And as soon as we plug that in, what you'll notice is just on the screen at the top left there, the icon has popped up, which is a 433 icon. So that means it's picked up the 433 now. And all we need to do is simply pair up the channel. So right now it's at channel 10, and I need to set channel 10 on the flash trigger here. There we go. So I've set channel 10 on the flash trigger, and you can see that's now connected to the flash. Now, if I were to put down the antenna just like that, you would still see that you would get the range with the flash since I'm in close proximity, and even if I've closed off that manual antenna there, that's not too bad. So where that is a little bit more crucial is when you're at longer distances, as well as if you're away or from the flash and you don't have line of sight. That's probably when you'd be likely putting this antenna up, the physical antenna. And from here we can demonstrate the TCM mode, but we will need a camera. So I have a Sony camera with me here, and I'll just mount the FT433. We'll make sure that still fires off as I go to take a shot. Yep, which it did. So what we'll do is we can change the settings on the flash here simply by using the flash trigger as per usual, as you would with the X Pro. So highlighting the group, perhaps we want to change the mode, and you can see I'll change the mode to TTL, which it has done there. You've got those 3 stops of TTL flash exposure compensation up or down, so you can go +3 or -3. You can see I can dial it up and dial it down on the flash trigger, but also as we go to take the shot, for example, well, let's enable Let's enable TCM. So on the menu there, you just need to hit TCM and you need to select, it's currently off, you need to select the flash model that we're using, which currently is the 200. So that means you select the 200J, there's the AD100 Pro, 300 Pro, 400, 600, 1200. So you have all the different options for the AD series range of flashes with Godox. Let's set it to 200. So all we need to do is take a test shot and we'll fire off on TTL mode here. And you need to just single touch the mode lock button and that will reveal what the manual setting was when it was on TTL there, which in this case was 128 output. So that's a useful tool to have, the TCM feature. Now, overall, this flash trigger here has all the features that you'd expect. So it still has a 2.5mm connection there. So if you need to have a sync cable that connects up to a PC socket, it will do that. It has the AF assist beam, so you've got that IR beam at the front there, and you can enable the AF assist beam on the side here. There's an on-off feature for the flash trigger as well as the on-off feature for the AF assist beam. You have the ability to control this flash completely, so you're able to turn on the modeling lamp like I've done just now. You can control the zoom obviously from 24mm all the way up to 200mm. You also have high-speed sync. So what that means is that when we go to shoot, for example, and we want to shoot at a faster shutter speed, right now without high-speed sync, I'm stuck at 1/160th shutter speed. Whereas when I turn high-speed sync on, that allows me to go all the way up to 1/4000th of a second with this camera in particular, but all the way up to 1/8000th of a second for some other cameras too. So this will sync up at 1/4000th of a second. There we go, and that fired off at a faster shutter speed as well. So that was just our quick unboxing and review of the brand new Godox FT433 flash trigger. Now this flash trigger, for those that are after a flash trigger that will operate on a fairly stable frequency here, so you can see it is compatible with the newer versions of Godox's AD range of flashes, including the AD200 Pro Mark II, 600 Pro Mark II, and 600BM Mark II. So you need to be mindful that you need to have those particular flash units in your kit. Now this retails for about 115 Australian dollars here, and I'll throw the conversions up on screen. So it is within that price range of Godox's standard flash triggers. It's good to see that they haven't made this particular frequency obsolete, and it is still compatible with those particular flashes if you have some of the older Godox flashes, including the FT16 trigger. So for more videos just like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be updated of any new content we release. Leave a like on the video if it's helped you. Feel free to leave down in the comments section below your thoughts, or if you have any questions about the FT433. Follow us on socials, the links are down below, and visit our website, hypop.com.au. Thanks for watching.